The great question: why do we feel? Why are you aware that you exist right now? Why is there a unique feeling that comes with being you? It is not like being a rock. It is not like being a table. You have an inner world. You have thoughts. You have feelings. You see colors. You hear sounds. These are very simple facts about your life. Yet, they are also the source of one of the deepest and most difficult questions humans have ever asked. These questions aren't just for scientists or philosophers. They are for everyone who's wondered about their own existence. We give a special name to this inner life. We call it consciousness. Consciousness is the part of you that experiences everything: warmth from the sun on your skin, the taste of a sweet apple, the sadness when a friend moves away, the joy of hearing your favorite song. Consciousness is the movie always playing inside your head. You are the only one who can watch your own movie. This makes it very personal. It also makes it very difficult to study from the outside. Think about the color red. You know what it's like to see red. How would you describe that to someone who's never seen color? You could talk about light waves. You could say red has a long wavelength. But that doesn't explain the feeling of seeing red. This is the core of the puzzle. There's a difference between the physical world and our inner experience of it. We can easily point to our experiences. I am feeling happy. I see a blue sky. But explaining why we have these feelings at all is much, much harder. This question has puzzled thinkers for thousands of years. In ancient times, people spoke of the soul, the spirit, a non-physical part responsible for our thoughts and feelings. Many still hold this belief. Science, however, looks for physical explanations. It tries to understand through observation and measurement. So, modern science looks to the brain. The brain is a physical object. It is made of cells and chemicals. Can this complex organ truly explain the richness of our inner lives? This is the great debate. Scientists have made amazing progress in understanding the brain. They use powerful tools like MRI, EEG machines. They can see which parts are active when we think, feel, or act. They can map intricate networks of neurons, watch signals travel, and link activity to behavior. This work helps treat brain injuries, Alzheimer's, depression. It explains learning and decision-making. These are the so-called easy problems: what the brain does, the functions and behaviors. But there is a much harder question that remains. Why does any of this feel like anything at all? The philosopher David Chalmers famously named this the hard problem of consciousness. The hard problem is not about what the brain does. It is about why it feels like anything to be a brain. Why does electrical and chemical activity create a subjective inner experience? Why do specific neurons produce the feeling of seeing green, the sensation of pain, the emotion of love? There seems to be a deep, mysterious gap between physical processes and experience itself. Imagine you know every neuron, every connection, every signal, all the physical facts about a brain. Would you know what it is like to be that person? Would you know what they are feeling? Even with all the data, the question of inner experience would remain. It asks why physical processing should be accompanied by a rich inner life at all. It could just be all dark inside. Many scientists today believe the answer lies entirely within the brain, a materialist view. Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA's structure, turned to consciousness with his astonishing hypothesis. He proposed that you, your joys, your sorrows, your memories, your ambitions, are nothing more than the behavior of a vast assembly of nerve cells. It suggests there is no separate soul or spirit. The mind is what the brain does. Neuroscientists search for neural correlates of consciousness, patterns that light up whenever awareness arises. What differs in the brain when you see a face versus when it's flashed too quickly to notice? Some focus on hubs like the thalamus or claustrum, others on distributed networks and how regions communicate. Global workspace theory says information becomes conscious when broadcast widely for memory and decision-making. These approaches are powerful and testable, yet the hard problem lingers. Why should any pattern feel like happiness or anything at all? The mainstream treats neurons like classical switches, but Roger Penrose argues the quantum world might be essential. With Stuart Hameroff, he proposed quantum effects in microtubules, the OR theory. Most scientists are skeptical. The brain seems too warm, wet, and noisy for fragile quantum states. Still, it pushes boundaries, a reminder we may need new tools or physics we've yet to discover. Long before scanners, René Descartes declared, "I think, therefore I am." He argued mind and body are different substances, dualism, intuitive, yet plagued by an interaction problem. How can a non-physical will move a physical arm, and how does physical injury cause non-physical pain? Chalmers suggests consciousness might be fundamental, like space, time, or mass, a form of property dualism. Perhaps new laws bridge physical states to feeling states. Panpsychism says a basic form of mind is everywhere. Tiny experiences combine into rich consciousness. Each view offers a different way to look at the puzzle of consciousness. Each one has strengths and serious problems. Materialism must explain how physical stuff creates feeling. Dualism, how the non-physical interacts. Panpsychism, how tiny minds combine. Neuroscience is experimental, gathering data, refining theories, building better tools. Slow, careful work builds a solid foundation, revealing links between brain and experience. It matters. Is a patient in a coma conscious? When does a fetus become conscious? Could an AI be conscious and have rights? For now, the great mystery remains. We are living, breathing, feeling beings. No single theory explains it all. We have many clues, many maps, many competing stories. The final chapter is unwritten. The gap between measurable brain and subjective feeling remains the deepest frontier. So, what is your experience of reading these words? And why does it feel like anything at all?